It is Wednesday, the 8th day of December 2021. Good evening and welcome to Newswatch on Hope TV, where you look and live. I'm Tess Njenga and my sign language interpreter is Boniface Murithi. These are the day's stories. President Uhuru Kenyatta has tasked new General Service Unit GSU officers joining the National Police Service to serve the country with courage, integrity, and discipline. The president urged the new officers to uphold the law and abide by the rules and regulations of the service while safeguarding the rights and freedoms of Kenyans. President Uhuru Kenyatta also pleaded with police not to misuse their guns, as it has been witnessed in the recent past of police judicial murders witnessed in the country. Dolly Murigi begins with this report.
Speaking during the 48th GSU Passing Out Parade on Wednesday, President Uhuru Kenyatta asked the police to talk about the family problems and not going for the gun, pleading with them not to misuse the guns, saying it was better to address issues than kill people.
Bunduki yako ni ya kulinda maisha, sio ya kuchukua maisha. Na mimi nataka niwahakikishie vijana, tabu hii iko na sio kati yenu, hata Kenya mzima, na ni tabu ambaye tunataka kushughulikia kama serikali, lakini haswa kwenu nyinyi na waomba na wasii, ukiona uko na shida, iwe ni shida ya kinyumbani, iwe ni shida ya kikazi, tafuta mwenzako, tafuta ofisa mkubwa wako, tafuta family member wako, muongee naye.
There have been a lot of cases in the country of police officers killing their family members, with the latest case being on Tuesday, where Constable Benson Mbatu, attached to Kabete police station, who went home with his AK-47 rifle and picked a quarrel with his wife Carol Mbatu. In the process, Mbatu stepped out with his gun blazing and felled 5 other people, including 2 border riders and his neighbors, in different locations near the house. Acknowledging that the officers are joining the security sector at a time when the society at large is experiencing significant transformation and advancement in technology and external cultural differences, President Kenyatta asked them to adapt to the dynamic security environment. President Kenyatta reiterated the government commitment to ongoing transformation of the police service into a modern 21st century law enforcement agency.
Strengthening of the security sector has been a major priority of my administration's agenda. To achieve this objective, in addition to adopting new training curricula and equipping our forces with modern weaponry and equipment like armored personnel carriers, surveillance equipment, we have also taken steps to boost service delivery and efficiency at work. A case in point is the motor vehicle lease program for the police service, which has been transformative in overcoming the disreputable mobility challenges that police officers once used to face across the country.
On police welfare, the president said the government was implementing a comprehensive medical insurance cover for officers and their families. Similarly, President Kenyatta said the government had reformed police housing by, among other interventions, allowing officers to rent houses outside their stations.
These and other welfare benefits initiatives have ensured that the nation of Kenya is taking better care of those who take care of us.
Dolly Murigi for Hope TV, Nairobi.
Thank you, Excellency.
Thank you, Dolly, for that report. Now, since the rollout of COVID-19 vaccination in the country, only 11% of the adult population has so far been vaccinated, despite Kenya having received over 20 million doses of vaccines. This has led to the launch of the COVID-19 National Vaccination Campaign by the Interreligious Council of Kenya on Wednesday. The religious leaders, have committed to allow the Ministry of Health to use the places of worship as COVID-19 vaccination centers countrywide so as to ensure a majority of Kenyans receive the jab. Our very own Kennedy Kimani has more on this story.
According to a directive issued in November,
by the Health CS Mutahi Kagwe. From the 21st of December 2021, it will be almost impossible to receive in-person government services, as well as get admission into national parks, game reserves, hotels, restaurants, and even public means of transport without the COVID-19 certificate. This move by the Ministry of Health was seen as a means of ensuring many Kenyans are vaccinated. By the 7th of December, only 11% of the adult population have been vaccinated, despite the country receiving over 20 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines. To accelerate the vaccination drive countrywide, the Interreligious Council of Kenya has on Wednesday launched a national vaccination campaign with the aim of sustaining COVID-19 prevention in the country. Speaking during the event, Health CAS Rashid Aman has appreciated the campaign by the faith leaders, adding that the government targets to vaccinate 10 million Kenyans by the end of the year.
I want to thank the Council and all its members for finding it fit to undertake this exercise, especially at this very critical time when our country is battling the coronavirus disease that has caused untold suffering for our people. This vaccination awareness campaign could not have come at a better time, particularly now that the government has upscaled efforts towards vaccinating at least 10 million people by the end of this year. We are talking about just 22 days to go to reach that target. The complementing efforts by the religious leaders towards this campaign, to say the least, is very much welcomed and appreciated by the ministry and the government of Kenya. The objective of this campaign is to create and also to increase awareness among all faith communities, as well as the general public, on the need to receive COVID-19 vaccination in a bid to curb the spread of this disease.
The religious leaders have committed to allow the Ministry of Health to use places of worship as venues of COVID-19 vaccination countrywide so as to administer adequate vaccines to as many people as possible.
We call upon the government to provide additional and adequate COVID-19 testing kits at various county health facilities to enable more people to be tested for COVID-19.
The various measures which have been taken jointly in our partnership with government have saved many lives, reduced morbidity, and lessened the adverse effects on our economic and social activities. Further, aware and appreciating the role of vaccination against COVID-19 disease as important and critical tool in fight against pandemic.
Kenya on Monday received 4.3 million doses of Johnson & Johnson vaccines from Germany and another 400,000 doses of the same from Argentina. Kennedy Kimani, Hope TV Newswatch, Nairobi.
Thank you, Kennedy, for that report. Taking a look at COVID-19 numbers today, 108 more people have tested positive for COVID-19 from a sample size of 5,073 tested in the last 24 hours. Today's positivity rate is at 2.1%. Total confirmed positive cases are now 255,652. Meanwhile, 21 patients have recovered from the disease, bringing total recoveries to 248,473. No deaths have been reported, leaving the cumulative deaths at 5,337. Over 7.7 million Kenyans have so far been vaccinated against COVID-19 across the country. According to the Ministry of Health, 4.7 million of them have been partially vaccinated, while those fully vaccinated are 3 million. And Health Ministry Chief Administrative Secretary Dr. Mercy Mwangangi has challenged all health workers across the country to be keen on latest modern technology trends and inform the Ministry of Health on facilities and equipment they can invest in to aid in treating COVID-19 patients. While addressing the media in a hotel in Kakamega County, during the launch of modern equipment and a new ambulance at the 8th World Biomedical Engineering Day celebrations. Mwangangi emphasized on the need for institutions of higher learning to invest in modern technology so as to facilitate the health sector in future.
All these medical devices need the services of biomedical engineers to operate and service when it's needed. Biomedical engineering seeks to close the gap between engineering and medicine, combining the design and problem-solving skills of engineering with medical, biological sciences to advance healthcare treatment, including diagnosis, monitoring, and therapy.
Why is it that perhaps in my movement across the counties, I've never seen those point-of-care ultrasounds with the MOs and the nurses running all over around with them? And that means there's a gap somewhere. Do you know what I'm talking about? It means there's a gap somewhere. And it's something that can only be addressed by yourselves as a fraternity who are aware that these advances in technology are present. And therefore, then you can challenge us within the policy-making tables to avail some of those technologies. And I'm sure there's a whole field, and these people who are supporting us here today are aware of what is out there. Challenge us, those of us who sit in those policy desks, to be able to bring some of these new technologies so that Kenya is not left behind, but also patient care is improved.
World Biomedical Engineering Day 2021.
Now, to some unfortunate news, a suspected Al-Shabaab suicide bomber detonated an explosive, killing himself and an elderly couple in Kamloma village in Nyakach, Kisumu County. Police are treating the incident as an act of terror, I beg your pardon. It is said the suspect found the elderly couple sitting outside their house with their daughter and questioned them on matters they did not understand before blowing them up. Their daughter, Nancy Aoko, who sustained serious injuries, is receiving treatment at Katitu Hospital. According to the police report, the suspect had earlier detonated an explosive at Katitu Market in an attempt to kill his girlfriend. Investigations on the incident are ongoing.
Saa 3 tulistukia tu tumesikia malupuko la kitu hapa nyumbani. Tulipotoroka ukuja tukapata mzee ako alihatari, mama asakufa. Huyu kijana aliyofanya kitendo naye amejilipua. Hapo ndio watu walisanyika hapo, tukasimama hapo. Watu walijaribu kuongea, tulijaribu, chief na mapolisi walipigwa simu, lakini walichelewa kukuja. Huyu babangu alikuwa bado anapumua, akachukuliwa, alikuwa anapelekwa hospitali. Alipofika njiani, alifariki akiwa njiani.
Tulisikia tu kitu nafanya poop kama bomu. Ilikuwa kama muruti. Lakini nikisikia nilikuwa kwa nyumba. Nasikia nyumba natetemeka, nikatoka. Unajua nyumba yangu ni hii karibu hapa. Kutoka kwa nyumba tukaingia. Tukakuta hii kijana ameaga dunia. Alikuwa bado kufa. Alikuwa bado anatoa pumzi. Lakini wakachukua nikasikia nduru kutoka huko ati ameaga njiani kuepelekea hospitali.
Hiyo alipotea. Kama alikuwa nakaa, alikuwa pembeni. Hakukuwa na sisi karibu. Hata sisi macho yetu ilikuwa panaona yeye. Hata pesa yake ilikuwa nabaki. Sina kisaenda kwa assistant chief, alafu ukuje uchukue. Na assistant chief alisema kama yeye anakuja atasika yeye, yani alifanya matendo Katitu. Haya, sasa alikuwa anataka dada yake iko Nairobi, ukuje uchukua hiyo pesa. Na dada yake hiyo bado hajafika hata saa hii. Bado hajafika. Na yake ni mbaya. Yani ya kukaa hapa zaidi. Aliwasha sijui Kilastani, alafu naenda Mombasa. Mombasa huku unajua maneno ni mingi. Sasa kabla mtu naishi Mombasa, hapana jua bila yeye nakaa. Kama nakaa na mjamaa ingine, ndio naweza jua tunakaa namna gani. Sisi naweza sema na sisi hapana jua bila yiko. Saa nyingine machambasi. Saa nyingine sisi naweza sema yeye machambasi na hapana machambasi. Lakini mimi najua soa yeye machambasi.
Moving on, Deputy President William Ruto has urged Kenyans to be wary of leaders bent on inciting them to turn against each other to achieve their selfish ends. Ruto claims there are schemes being orchestrated by his competitors to incite Kenyans against each other to evoke tribal emotions. Ruto, who spoke during a series of empowerment programs in Kisii County a day after his Laikipia tour, said Kenyans are more enlightened than before, adding that such evil plans will not succeed. Here's Alice Diana with more.
Deputy President William Ruto claims that his detractors, including senior government officials, are planning to disrupt peaceful coexistence among Kenyans ahead of 2022 polls. Speaking in Kisii County during a series of empowerment programs to boost his 2022 presidential bid, Ruto asked civil servants to steer clear politics and focus on the duties of serving Kenyans.
Kenya hii, wananchi wa Kenya hawataki kuambiwa ya jana na juzi. Hawa vijana hawataki kuambiwa hadithi, hawataki kuambiwa historia, hawataki hekaya sababu nwazi. Hawa vijana wanataka ajira, wajipange, wasimamie familia zao na waende mbele kama Wakenya wengine. Kwa hivyo nyinyi tuliowapatia kazi, mimi ndio nilitafuta na Uhuru Kenyatta serikali ya Jubilee na tukawapatia kazi. Fanyeni kazi kwa wananchi. Nyinyi hamujui vile ya kutengeneza serikali, my friends.
The Deputy President, who was accompanied by MPs Silvanus Osoro of South Migirango, Vincent Kemosi of West Migirango, Kimani Ichung'wah of Kikuyu, and East African Court Judge Justice Charles Nyachae, urged Kenyans to shun tribal politics and embrace national political parties that will champion a national agenda.
Kuna njama ya kutugawanya. Wale waliovunja chama ya Jubilee, njama yao ilikuwa ni kutugawanya, ati kila mtu aende atengeneze chama ya kijiji yake, ati ndio viongozi wafaidike, wananchi wahangaike. Vile tunaweza kukabiliana na changamoto tulizonazo hizi za ajira, hiyo ya mambo ya biashara, ile ya kilimo, haiwezi kutatuliwa na chama ya kijiji, haiwezi kutatuliwa na vyama ya kabila ama kona. Inaweza peke yake kutatuliwa kwa chama yenye imeunganisha Wakenya wote.
MPs who accompanied Ruto asked Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i and other civil servants to focus on service delivery instead of engaging in retrogressive politics.
Nataka tumwambie Matiang'i tukiwa hapa Kisii, uache kiburi na uache kupiganisha wa Kisii na kabila zingine za Kenya.
Watu wetu wanapenda amani na wako kila mahali. Wanapatikana all corners of the country. We do not want to be incited. Hatutaki kuwip emotions za 2007 na 2008. Na wale wafanyikazi wa serikali ambao wameanza ku-criticize viongozi wengine, wameanza kutumia maneno ya 2007. Nataka niwakumbusha ya kwamba you cannot bite the hand that is feeding you.
For Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Alice Diana.
Thank you, Alice, for that report. On that note, let's take our first break on Newswatch tonight. There's plenty more after the break.
Join us every Sunday for unlimited, uplifting, powerful worship, only on Extended Worship.
Dunia ni mali ya Bwana na vyote vijazavyo.
Nguruwe ni mali ya Bwana au?
Ni mali ya Bwana.
Bata ni mali ya Bwana?
Ni mali.
Wewe kula basi. Acha mambo mengi.
Yesu ndiye njia.
Muislamu yoyote ambaye anamkataa Yesu, kwanza sisi tunamjua ni kafiri.
Bila huyu Yesu, mtu aendi kwa Baba.
Ungana na walimu wa neno wanapochambua masuala tata katika Biblia, wakiyalinganisha na vitabu vingine vya kidini.
Je, kuna ushahidi wowote Muhammad aliwahi ona Qur'ani? Na hii Qur'ani muliitoa wapi? Halo.
Piga simu moja kwa moja na pia uchangie kupitia SMS na Facebook.
Itawezekana kitabu cha Biblia ambayo mwanakiamini kuwa ni kitabu cha Mwenyezi Mungu ishindwe kumtabiri mtu ambaye ana wafuasi zaidi ya bilioni 100 duniani.
Je, Muhammad amekufa ama yuko hai?
Ungana nasi kila Jumamosi saa 2 hadi saa 4 ya usiku kwenye runinga uipendayo ya Hope TV.
A very warm welcome back. We are glad you're still with us. Now, the Mama Ngina Girls Secondary School has been closed down indefinitely after the attempted arson by the students at around 5 a.m. today morning. The Mombasa County Director of Education, Peter Magiri, confirmed that fire broke out in one of the ablution blocks within the school compound when the girls were preparing for the morning studies. He said all the girls have been sent home as they launch further investigation into the incident. However, Magiri said there was no extensive damage at the school because the fire was noticed early enough by the girls who helped in putting it off. Parents have been blamed for creating anxiety among the girls by making frequent phone calls to the school to release the girls. Mama Ngina is the only girls' national school in Mombasa County, and this is the first school unrest in Mombasa.
Ni jambo la kusikitisha kwamba jambo limetokea na wazazi hawajajulishwa kitu chochote. Kwa hivyo ingekuwa ubora wazazi wangejulishwa ni kitu gani ambacho kinaendelea, ndio wazazi pia waje washuhudia mambo. Kwa mfano kama mimi mtoto wangu amefenti na sijui shida kubwa ni kitu gani ambayo imetokea. So ni walimu ama principal wa shule hii atuelezee ni shida gani ambayo inatokea, ndio tuangalie njia ya kutatua matatizo ya hapa shule.
I didn't get any communication kwamba watoto wanatolewa, ni mimi mwenyewe tu nikasema acha nipitie shule nione kunaendeleaje. Na watoto wenyewe wasema this is the third attempt ya moto. Na sasa shule hawajataka communicate especially kuna nini hasa. We have no communication from the school. The only communication alituambia juzi kwamba kulikuwa kumechomeka pilo, but watoto they are safe because walikuwa wameshatoka wameenda kwa evening classes na mattress, na kwamba kuna polisi wanafanya investigation and everything will be fine. But this incident ya leo, no, there's no communication. It's just kwamba mtu nasema napita ndo nakuta watoto wanatoka ndo nangojea mtoto wangu nichukue nipeleke nyumbani.
I want to assure the parents, one, we have taken the local and all the girls present. Two, we are not saying that they are coming tomorrow or the next week, because the board has to make a decision. And the assurance is that there is no damage that has been caused, because the store that they wanted to burn, that fire was noticed and it has been put off very fast. It is like a small, so we want to root that. And we also want to thank the girls because they are very cooperative. They are the ones who saw the fire and they put it off. So that is the state, and we want to wish our girls safe journey. It is not the same because I know some have come from very far, but decision and to be taken for safety purposes.
The county government of Nakuru has been urged to halt issuance of passenger picking and dropping bays for public service vehicles at a newly constructed bus park. London Ward Member of County Assembly Anthony Nzuki said he had raised concern with Governor Lee Kinyanjui over illegal allocations of the slots at the terminus located at Kenya Railways grounds along Geoffrey Kamau Road by unauthorized officers, disregarding laid down procedures. Whilst addressing a press conference at the new bus stop, the MCA said the county government's decongestion strategy has been infiltrated by cartels, which he warned might lead to a transport paralysis, since PSVs that will not get slots are likely to be parked on roads, footpaths, and highways. Mr. Nzuki observed that implementation of the new city's decongestion plan would only succeed if county officials stopped sidelining the PSV's operators from the negotiating table.
Na sisi tumejaribu juu chini kumfikia Governor Lee Kinyanjui, lakini amekataa kutuona. We are very clear. that we will not relent, kwa sababu sisi tunapigania fairness ya watu wa Nakuru County. Sisi tunapigania fairness ya vijana wa London ambao wanaangamia. Sisi tumesema kwa umoja, kwa sababu kama huyu atapatiwa nafasi 7, huyu apatiwe 10, huyu anyimwe, huyu akidai yake watakosana na ule, kwa sababu ule anafaa kunyang'anywa ndio huyu apate. Na sisi tumesema tutapigana. Liki Nyanjui kuna mahali ulitoa watu, na ulipowatoa ilikuwa ni kwa sababu ya COVID imeisha na watu wamerudi kwa biashara venye inafaa. Kama ni matatu saizi zinabeba capacity ambayo ilikuwa inafaa. What we'll do on Friday, kama security apparatus watakuwa wamerespond na sisi, tunarudi mahali penye watu walitoka na wamepatiwa slots.
And we are saying this, it's not a favor, but it's our right to be given services as an industry that pays fees and other levies to the county. We are saying this, that we have been in this town for quite a long time. We know there are some designated and registered bus parks where we used to operate before the COVID-19. Na sasa stage nyingine mpya imeletwa hapo. Wao wameigawa kwa njia ya mapendeleo. Kama vile mmesikia watu wengine kampuni inapewa slots 13. Ingine mtu mmoja anapewa 7. Wengine wananyimwa na wote wanalipa bila ubaguzi. Tumekuja kuambia serikali ya kwamba tunatoa sauti yao kwetu kwa njia ya unyenyekevu, kwa sababu tunataka kuishi kwa amani na kwa umoja na udugu.
The Midwives Association of Kenya have held their 6th annual 3-day conference in Kakamega with the theme Invest in Midwives for Birth Equity in Kenya, where they are calling upon the government and partners to commit to work with midwives to help build a competent, well-trained and well-supported midwifery workforce in the country. The chairperson of Kakamega Midwives Association, Catherine Shienzi, said this move will prevent maternal, neonatal deaths and stillbirths, provided they are well-educated, well-equipped, well-supported and regulated. The association still decries the number of midwives in hospitals, saying the number of midwives falls far short of the need.
At all levels, starting from the facility.
We are needed to reduce the maternal mortality by at least 3/4. If you look at the last KDHS, we had 362 per 100,000. The target for SDG is 147. So we're still a long way to go.
The changes we made at the CGH are both fruits. You will hear people just talk, somebody has passed on in a particular facility, and nothing comes out of it. Now, those are things that should be not had in this century.
For the midwives is all about birth equity, ensuring that all the children and the mothers are given an equal opportunity to be able to deliver in a good environment and also be able to be taken good care of.
The county, in cooperation with the national government, has put adequate measures in place to ensure a reduction in maternal mortality from 362 per 100,000 live birth to 70 per 100,000 live birth, and prenatal mortality from 22 per 1,000 live birth to 12 per 1,000 live births by the year 2030.
Now, a section of leaders from Baringo County have expressed concerns over continued cases of gender-based violence in the region, with the majority of the cases going unreported. The leaders observed that there were increasing cases of violence against men meted on them by women, but due to cultural beliefs and traditions, such cases are not reported, and hence victims suffer in silence for fear of stigmatization. Similarly, cases of early marriages, FGM, and sexual violence are also too common in the county. Speaking during the ongoing 2-week-long campaign of activism against gender-based violence, that is GBV, to create awareness on the vice, the leaders have called for concerted efforts to tackle the vices. Marigat Sub-County Administrator Ms. Helen Juma, Muchungoi Officer Commanding Station Simon Duirangu, among others, have condemned the crimes and outdated cultural practices and hence challenged local residents to embrace education and modern living and also make reports to the relevant authorities whenever such cases are identified.
Sisi nao tumekuja kusherekea siku ya leo kusema no to gender violence. Tumekuta ya kwamba most of the time in our communities mengi yamesemwa ya kwamba gender based violence zamani ilikuwa inahusu wanawake, lakini siku hizi imehusu kila mtu, boys, girls, fathers, mothers and all of us.
Katika area ya Muchungoi tumekuwa na mambo mengi kuhusu dhuluma ya kijinsia katika jamii. Wanawake wamekuwa wana misoso katika manyumba na waume zao. Wanawake sana sana huwa wanapika wanaume, lakini wanaume huwa wananyamaza sana. Lakini kwa sasa tumekubali kila mtu shout ama apige nduru kwa sababu ya haya maneno ya kijinsia, ili tuweze kukomesha mambo ya kijinsia. Kwa hivyo wanaume wamekuwa wakichapwa wananyamaza, lakini sasa hii idara imetuweza kutufundisha jinsi hakuna kunyamazia, lazima kila mtu ataongea kuhusu hii uhasama.
On a very sad note, kumekuwa na mbili within Muchungoi ambazo zimeresort to murder. Imeanza tu kama a simple assault, watu wanachapana mpaka inakuwa ni mauaji. So that is how serious this issue of gender based violence is. Not only within Muchungoi, it is a nationwide and actually a global issue. So sisi tunataka within our jurisdiction we arrest this situation, na ni mambo ya kusaidiana. Kama venye Madam Esther wa St. Martins alikuja akahintia. Shida za leo zinahitaji multi-agency approach. Mambo ya gender based violence inatubidi sisi wote tushikane mikono, watoto, wanafunzi, wazazi, walimu, the various authorities, tufanye kazi pamoja.
Wazee katika hii jamii wakidhulumiwa sana sana wananyamazia, na ikizidi sana unaona kwanza kwamba wanajiua, wanajinyonga. Pia wamama nao wanadhulumiwa, lakini kwa sababu kimira hiyo inakubalika, nao wananyamaza, na pengine mwisho unaona mtu ameaga dunia ama pia ameweza kupata matatizo ya kiafya ambayo itaishi muda mrefu. Kwa hivyo siku ya leo tunaita jamii yote na tunawaalika kila mtu, all the stakeholders, tushirikiane katika hizi siku 16 za gender based violence gender based violence fight. Tuone vile tunaweza kufahamisha wengi, vile tunaweza tatua nyingi. Na pale St. Martin tumepata kesi kadhaa ambazo zimeanza kuja pale kwetu kutokana na hii awareness ambayo tumekuwa tukifanya kwa muda wa miaka kama 2 ambayo imepita. Kwa hivyo tunaendelea kuhudumia jamii, lakini kwa pamoja tushirikiane. Tunasema kwa Kiingereza kwamba eliminating gender-based violence is our collective responsibility.
Let's now cross borders. Many may soon be getting a booster shot after Pfizer and BioNTech said a booster jab of their coronavirus vaccine promises to be an effective defense against the Omicron variant. After a small study, the companies said that 3 doses provide a similar level of antibodies against Omicron to that of 2 doses with other variants. The World Health Organization earlier said vaccines should still work against severe Omicron cases, as researchers are still working on understanding the new variant. To Germany, Olaf Scholz has been sworn in as Germany's new chancellor. bringing an end to Angela Merkel's historic 16 years as leader. He was voted in by German parliament, where his three-party coalition had a substantial majority and given a standing ovation. His center-left Social Democrats will govern alongside the Greens and the business-friendly Free Democrats. The handover of power marks an end to Merkel's 31-year political career. The German parliament, the Bundestag, backed him as chancellor by 395 votes to 303, and he was then formally appointed as the 9th federal chancellor by President Frank-Walter Steinmeier. And we take our last break on Newswatch tonight. Business is coming up.
Hope TV is where you look and live, with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries, with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station, with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at business news. Thousands of coffee farmers affiliated to Gakundu Farmers Cooperative Society in Embu County have received a major boost after they were gifted with a modern pulping machine worth 6.5 billion Kenya shillings. With a modern eco-pulping machine donated by the European Union in collaboration with Slovak Aid and Central Management Services, CMS. The farmers are expected to make huge savings in cost of production due to its effectiveness in terms of processing speed, as well as low power and water consumption. The machine, according to CMS General Manager Martin Ngari, has a potential of processing 5 tons of coffee in an hour using less water and power compared to the old disc pulper that had the capacity of 3.
Tumefurahi sana siku ya leo kwa kukumbukwa kuletewa mashini ambayo itakuwa inasaga kahawa yetu kwa haraka na haitakuwa inatumia maji mingi, na hata wafanyikazi wale walikuwa wanapatiwa overtime. Sasa tumeona hiyo pesa yote ya overtime imerudishwa kwa mkulima.
Nakumbuka nilipofika hapa miaka 3 iliyopita, kulikuwa na uwizi mwingi sana ya kahawa, na tulifanya mikutano na stakeholders na tukaidiana na wao, tukakubaliana na wao strategies zile tutatumia. Moja ya strategies zile tunatumia ni kwamba in case kuna uwizi, we are going to take into account wale management committee ya factory, kwa sababu wamepewa jukumu ya kuhakikisha kwamba kahawa inalindwa. Ya pili, tumehakikisha kwamba tunashirikiana na wao kupitia kwa community policing committees ambazo ziko mpaka mashinani. Aswa chairman wa hapa ndio ni chairman ya community policing committee of the entire sub county. Kwa hivyo kuna ushirikiano wa karibu, and we are able to receive and get actionable information kwa wakati unaofaa.
Hii mashini kwamba inatumia umeme kiasi kidogo sana, sio kama zile kwa sababu zile mashini za zamani ni kwamba zile motors ambazo zinatumiwa ni motors ambao ni kubwa. lakini katika hii machine ni kwamba utakuta zile motors ambazo zinatumika ni motors ndogo. Kwa hivyo katika utumizi wa stima itakuwa ni katika kiasi kidogo, na hiyo ni saving kwa wakulima. Tatu, nimeongea juu ya wafanyikazi kwamba hii machine inamenya ama inasiaga kilo 5,000 kwa saa, na kwa hivyo hata wakikuwa na kilo 20,000 ni kwamba masaa 4 watakuwa wamemaliza. Kwa hivyo vitu kama overtime pale zitakuwa zimepungua, na sasa hiyo inarudisha bei ama tuseme yale matumizi ya factory chini, na inafaidi wakulima. Na faida nyingine ni kwamba hii machine wakati ambayo inatawanisha kahawa grade ya kwanza, grade ya pili na grade ya tatu, ni kwamba utakuta percentage kubwa 90%, over 90% ya ile kahawa ambayo itatoa ni ile grade ya kwanza katika the primary stage. Ukiona katika ile teknolojia kitambo ni kwamba lazima hii kahawa nyingi uipeleke kwenye mtaro ili upate zile grades, na saa zingine usipokuwa makini ni kwamba utachanganya zile grades, na kwa hivyo mkulima anapoteza pesa pale.
Shinda ambaye ni kwamba wakati nasiaga kahawa kama hizo za zamani, unakuta kahawa iko na crack sehemu zingine, na wale wanunuzi hawataki kitu iko na crack pahali, lakini hizi mashini tumepata sasa, nafikiri kahawa itakuwa mzuri na grade itatoka mzuri.
DT Dobby and Stanbic Bank Kenya have signed a partnership agreement to offer vehicle asset financing for the purchase of Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagen, and Hyundai personal and commercial vehicles. Under the agreement, Stanbic Bank will provide up to 100% financing for personal vehicles and up to 90% for commercial vehicles, with a 60-month loan repayment period. The partnership will also offer DT Dobby customers a discounted loan processing fee at 1.5% at an interest rate of 13% per annum. Furthermore, clients will also enjoy a 45-day holiday period. Speaking during the event, Head of Engineering at Stanbic Bank Kenya, Catherine Muraga, stated that through the partnership with DT Dobby, they can offer unique solutions to their clientele to cater for their motor vehicle needs.
The season that we are in, stretching from last year, the COVID season, we've endured a lot. Curfews, restricted movements that have impacted business. And at Stanbic Bank, we have noted, as most businesses rebound, we have noted increased activities in various sectors, such as construction, logistics, manufacturing, agribusiness, to name but a few.
2021 has been a phenomenal year. With the onset of COVID 2 years ago, it has become necessary to evaluate our mix offering to the market. And with this partnership with Stanbic Bank, we are sure to afford credit to our customers and expand our market reach.
And in sports, Mathare United have survived the FKF Premier League defeat today after drawing 2-2 with defending champions Kakamega Homeboys at the Bukungu Stadium. The match, which saw Mathare United lead the first half and add a second goal during the second half, saw Kakamega Homeboys come from the back to score the first goal during the 70th minute and add the last goal during the additional time. Kakamega Homeboys now leads the standings on 17. Kariobangi Sharks follow with 16 points, while FC Talanta are third on 15 points. Mathare moved to the 15th slot with 7 points.
Jaribu kuwakumbusha kwamba mechi kama hii tusiifanyie mzaha, na nadhani imekuwa ni fundisho tosha kwamba mechi ni dakika 90 na lazima ushinde baada ya dakika 90 ndio ujue kama umepata hizo point 3. So nadhani hii imekuwa ni funzo kuelekea mechi ya Jumamosi dhidi ya Bidco, but then again tumetoka nyuma, imeonyesha kwamba vijana pia wanaweza toka nyuma na tukapata alama hata kama ni moja. Nadhani ligi ni ngumu sana, hata ukipata point moja nyumbani ni hivyo, nadhani unashukuru. So nadhani hii tuweka vichwa pamoja tena tufikirie mechi yetu ya Jumamosi. Mimi pamoja na management na pamoja na wachezaji tumejitia kwamba lazima tufanye nini tuweze kurudisha kombe hata Western kwa baada ya muda mrefu sana.
So kitu naweza sema imetukosti game ni fatigue because my players were somehow tired. Unapata tulisafiri jana usiku, tumefika hapa leo saa 2 asubuhi. But nawashukuru sana manake wamejituma na wakaweza kucheza vizuri because tulikuwa juu, ndio second half wakaweza kupata hizo bao 2. So to me hatuja lose because I was coming for a draw na nimeipata. So si ati ukiwa lose game hujacheza vizuri because our last match against Talanta tulicheza vizuri tuka lose. Leo tumecheza vizuri tumedraw. So niko sure game next ya Saturday versus City Stars tutajaribu kupata matokeo mazuri zaidi ya leo.
KPL side Sofapaka FC have been handed a transfer ban by FIFA after failing to pay a former player his dues. The Wundanyi-based outfit terminated the contract of Ghanaian striker Jedinak Nana Ameo in January this year, citing continued dismal performances. Ameo had a year remaining on his contract and, through the Professional Football Association of Ghana, appealed for the remainder of his wages to be paid. Sofapaka's transfer ban, which was handed out by FIFA yesterday, will be lifted once Ameo has been paid. Ameo is claiming $12,000, the total value of his annual contract, plus interest and $1,000 in legal costs from the Kenyan Premier League side as a result of the non-payment of his amount. FIFA has banned Sofapaka from registering new players internationally and has requested that the Football Kenya Federation, FKF, implements a domestic ban on the club registering new local players. To some last night's UEFA Champions League, Liverpool came from behind to knock AC Milan out of Europe with a 2-1 victory at San Siro, as goals from Mohamed Salah and Divock Origi helped a second-string Red side finish the Champions League group stage with a perfect record. Elsewhere, Atletico Madrid snatched a place in the Champions League last 16 as they won 3-1 at Porto in a tense and ill-tempered game, which saw both sides have a man sent off. Meanwhile, Borussia Dortmund's Marco Reus and Erling Haaland each scored twice in a 5-0 win over Besiktas in their final Champions League Group C game, with the Germans already confirmed in third place, but bouncing back from a Bundesliga loss to Bayern Munich. And finally, RB Leipzig struck in each half to beat already qualified Manchester City 2-1 in the Champions League, booking a spot in the Europa League and snapping the English club 14-game unbeaten run against German teams in the competition. Well, that concludes Newswatch tonight. On behalf of the whole team, thank you for your valuable company. I'm Tess Jenga, and my sign language interpreter is Boniface Mureithi. Have a good night, but before that, take a look at Friday's weather forecast.